the premiere episode of Gaming After Dark. I'm your host, Nukem, and I'm with.
And I'm your host, Primal.
There you go. It's been a couple of weeks in the making, but we are super excited to bring you what I think is going to be not only a fun podcast, but quite possibly a very unique podcast. If any of you guys are familiar with myself and Primal, you probably have already learned that we are very unfiltered gamers. We love to have fun. We like to joke around, but we also like to have, go a little risque. Wouldn't you say, Primal?
I would say we're a little dirty with our thoughts in our mouths, but yeah, a little risque might be the best word.
That's right. Well, after a couple of weeks of being away from our other podcast, the Game Dosage podcast, I'm happy to be back with my friend and awesome gamer, Primal Eve, the snail trail herself. It's just rolling on through. So we got a bunch of topics we're going to get into tonight. We're also going to be taking lots of questions from the audience. Great time to fire off anything. First of all, before we get right into the show, let's acknowledge the people who are here already. We've got some loyal followers and friends here, including Lunch Bizzle, Timothy Dixon. What is happening, you guys? Thanks for being here with us tonight. Hopefully, we get a few more people strolling in. It's going to take us a little while to build things up, but it's going to be a good time. So, Primal, what you been up to, though? What kind of games have been keeping you busy? That sort of stuff.
I have been sucked into Kingdom Hearts 3 right now. It's pretty much all I think about. It's all I do. I might have almost 50 hours in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think I'm almost done to beating, like getting close to beating it, but then I'm kind of slowing down a little bit because I don't want to rush it too much.
Mm-hmm.
But you got other games coming out too, so I'm in a bit of a jam right now. I think I
Right.
just might
How
beat it.
about Resident Evil 2? Everybody's been buzzing about that one. Have you played it or did you buy it?
It recently appeared in my queue. So,
Not anonymous donors, what you're saying?
an anonymous Xbox sharer.
All
Uh
right.
yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's something that I've been wanting to play ever since I played the demo.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm gonna try and hurry up and beat Kingdom Hearts because I have so many games that I've started and haven't finished. Like I have Tales that I need to finish up, but that's another 50-hour plus game. Yeah, I'm looking at Resident Evil right now, actually, recently installed.
I haven't got that one, but I have the day off tomorrow, and something tells me I might go out and pick it up. So we'll see what happens. First of all, back to the chat. We got some great people strolling in here right now, including our good pals Z Black Rider. We've got the blue one, and Shizno Elite is here hanging out with us. Shizno actually got to watch me streaming some Kingdom Hearts, and I think it was the other night, and actually kind of fell in love with what he saw from my stream. And that's the beauty of streaming, is that sometimes you just find enough from a streamer to kind of go, man, I think I'm going to give that game a shot. And that's always a cool feeling when you know that, you basically talk someone down off the fence, so to speak, to go out and get a game. And I know with you, Primal, you're like a veteran for Kingdom Hearts. For me, this is my first
Oh
ever
my god, yeah.
experience with the franchise, and I'm impressed. Like, it's a little weird, it's whimsical, it's weird, but it's kind of great because the mechanics are solid, the game is very fluid, it
Oh
looks
yeah.
phenomenal, and it kind of feels like you're playing a new age action game mixed with a lot of your childhood, because you see those Disney characters, you see the charm and the wit of the game, and it just works. There's something, as they would say, magical about it, and perhaps that's what hooked you from the beginning, right? So and I'm just curious, so you got a PlayStation, did you pick this one up though on PlayStation, or did you get it on
Oh
Xbox?
no, I got this on Xbox. I'm just so much more comfortable on the Xbox with the controller. It's just the way that I have everything so far. If there's an option for the PlayStation or the Xbox, it's going to go towards the Xbox. If there's an
Yeah,
exclusive or something that I can't get on the Xbox, yeah, I'll get it for the PlayStation.
which is probably the
I
only
do.
disappointing thing though, Promos. They really didn't go all out to like make the Xbox One like it says Xbox One enhanced on the box, but I mean,
Mhm.
with those stylized graphics, I don't really know if you'd see like a whole lot of enhancements. You know what I mean? When you're using those kind of textures and that like, I don't know, does it really matter if it's 4K or not? You know what I mean?
No, it doesn't really matter at all. My issue so far with Kingdom Hearts, I'm not going to say anything negative about it. Absolutely, I love it. I love the mechanics and everything. It's just comparing it to the original ones. They had a
Right.
more simple story. Even now, I'm kind of still confused, and I'm almost done with the game. But like you said, having characters and stuff and have it be all whimsical. I preferred the original two because they had the more classic Disney uh characters and worlds. Like I love fighting up against Jafar or Maleficent, and having the Beast in my party was awesome, and Beauty and the Beast, and even the Final Fantasy characters, which are missing from this one. I love seeing all my favorite Final Fantasy characters come to life. So as much as I do love 3, I prefer the first 2. But if they had done, if they put the mechanics and the gameplay from 3 in 1 and 2, that'd be so amazing. I wish they would. I wish they did that. I wish they brought 1 and 2 on the Xbox. It was stupid of them not to.
Hey, I haven't been that confused about anything since I knocked up that white chick in high school and the baby came out and it was a different ethnicity.
I'm still trying to figure out how I got pregnant. Trust me, I know how being confused is. I'm figuring it out almost 12 years later.
Left the condom in too long? Is that what happened?
I don't know. I just might have to go through the GameStop employee list and cross it off. I mean, I'm sorry.
It all happened at the GameStop. Hey, what were you doing in the back room, Primal?
Oh man, that was GameStop after dark.
We got a shout out to some more people strolling in. We got Crazy Greek Dude up in here and BZ McNasty bringing some nasty business up in here. Batter Sour says she has no elite in the chat. What, she sat on the cake mix or what? Like, I don't know.
Man.
Oh man, this is so awesome. I am so glad to have you here. See, and this is what's going to make our podcast, somewhat unique, I suppose, is that there's very few gaming podcasts out there where the hosts are sort of not afraid to be themselves and just kind of, piss and vinegar, right? We're full of piss and vinegar. I'm usually full of piss, but yeah, I don't know what Primal's filled with, but it's all good stuff, I'm sure. How about that? What's going on? Sorry, go ahead.
I said, I don't know. It's been a while. I'd have to check.
You'll have to check. You'll have to put the dipstick in and see what drips out. Cedric H, what's up, everybody? He says hello to me and Primal. Everybody in the chat, guys, you are fantastic. Thanks for joining us. And speaking of the chat, and since we're just kind of rhyming off about Kingdom Hearts, who's played the game, who loves it, who hates it, what have you been playing, guys? Everybody in the chat, we'd love to know what's been keeping you busy, because this is the busiest time of the year for games. Just like games coming out like crazy. Anthem is just like another week away or something like that. You got Crackdown or a couple of weeks away, and then there's Crackdown. I mean, holy crap, there's games. Metro is close to coming out here, like unbelievable.
Division will be out eventually too. We got the beta coming up, and
when is that? Division's not this month though, is it?
I don't think the release is this month, but the beta I think is this Thursday.
Oh, really? Wow, that's quick. Shizno says, dude, I like it when what's his name says it from Microsoft, Graham Boyd, AC Bongos, because every time he says Crackdown, it's not Crackdown, it's like Crackdown. I can't think to get me Crackdown. Because he's like, what is he? Is he English or fucking Scott? I don't know. He's from over there somewhere. That's what it sounds like. Everything. Crackdown. Yeah. Well, lots of people having fits about Crackdown, good and bad. Some people complaining about it. Some people loving it. It's kind of a hit and miss kind of scenario. We'll probably talk about that a little bit later on too. All the fuss and the hoopla and where we figure this game is going to basically end up. People buying it. Well, I mean, most people are going to Game Pass the fucker. So I guess you can't really go wrong if you're doing it through that method. But if you are going in cold and hard like I usually do, then yeah, it's
you're going in if it's cold or not.
That's right. You see your $80. There you go. Just 1 second, Primal, you take over. I got to do something real quick here. Just got to step away. So Primal, you just take over the room. Just interact with the chat, and I'll be back in about 30 seconds here.
All right. Let me see. Yeah, how many of you plan on playing the Division beta this week? I know that you can either get it through your pre-order, or you can do it through signing up right through the actual Division website, which chances are pretty much slim to none. I've already tried months ago, and I still am not in yet. Now, Black Rider, did you get it through pre-ordering, or did you do it through signing up?
All right, I am back. How's everybody
Talk
doing?
about the Division beta. Have you pre-ordered it at all, or are you interested in it, Newf?
For me, you know, honestly, I really am not a big fan of the looter shooter. I'd rather have some hooters with some shooters. I got the fits for tits. That's how I rock and roll. Oh man, Stick Figure up in the chat. What's happening, Sticky? Yeah, man. Like for me, I didn't really care for the first division. I got turned off by the fact it was full of bullet sponge enemies. It was like an RPG shooter. You're going around just getting weapons, and it looked great. It played good. But yeah, it just wasn't my bag, man. Like, just really couldn't get into it. I don't think it's a bad game. It's just not my cup of tea. Stinking Corpse is up in the chat here. What's going on,
Oh,
Corpsey?
he's thinking.
Oh yeah, Corpse is a good dude, man. He's a good dude. Shooter on the Hooters, absolutely, man. That's what we need. We need yeah, that'd be cool, man. Like a shooter like full of naked weirdos. That'd be kind of weird. I don't know. It sounds like one for me. Or Cletus. I don't know. Cougars with Hooters. Yeah, so let's get into a couple of things, and because like I said, we got lots of topics to chat about tonight, and we'll be taking some questions a little bit later on as well. Yeah, let's start off with one of yours. Primal. You can start with either one. I don't know if you got your list in front of you, but
I do not.
Well, one of the ones you sent to me was make it or break it. What does it take for you to enjoy a game, and what does it take for you not to enjoy a game? What are the things you look for? What are the sort of the no-nos for you kind of thing? And I think I can think of one right off the top of my head. So yeah, that was one of Primal's that she sent over. So we'll be reading the chat. So how about yourself, Primal? What's a selling point and what's a negative for you?
Honestly, graphics are great, but it's also it's about the gameplay and the atmosphere. For me, if I don't know, I could be in a completely white box and it could be the best game in the whole entire world. Like in Portal, that was such a simple game, but look how successful it was. Whereas you have these other games that aren't so successful and they put way too much in. So it's all about the atmosphere and keeping it straight to what you have to do.
I spent a lot of time
Gameplay
in
is
some white
obviously a big
boxes, but I
thing.
wouldn't mind having some dark ones.
Well, I'm sure my box has been white a few times. Uh, oh shit. I'm just the replay value of something is also important to me. If something that I play through quickly, I need to have a reason to come back. Mechanics are a big deal. The camera is a major deal. I am not so sure I'm a fan of having just the camera be stuck pretty much where
Right.
you have no control over it whatsoever. That kind of drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But then also if you don't have the option to change your camera if it's too fast or too slow, that also drives me nuts too.
Shout
No,
out
just
to Great Skull Zero and the blue one up in the chat.
there they are. And
The blue
Stick
one
Figure. I don't know.
co-op is a selling point for him, which is one of my big ones.
See, co-op for me, I do love co-op, but I actually play a lot of single player games with a bunch of people. Like I remember when Skyrim came out, I used to have Skyrim parties, and there'd be like me and 8 other dudes in there completely silent, and we're
Yeah.
all just playing Skyrim. So it just, I don't know, co-op isn't it could be there, it cannot be there.
Yeah.
But if there's a game and it offers couch co-op, it needs to offer online co-op too. There's been so many games I haven't been able to play with friends because of that. Ugh,
Yeah, and that's
nuts.
a dying game mode apparently. But at least I know that the new Halo game is supposed to be bringing it back, so that's a positive. And it was really funny. The other night I played Firewall 0 Hour on the PlayStation VR, and I was impressed. Not only is it a really cool game, but I actually played with a bunch of randoms, which I haven't done in a long time. They were pretty good for the most part, and they all had microphones, which is even weirder because most of them on
Wow.
PlayStation, it's always like I feel them in like Silent Hill or something. Nobody wants to say shit, right?
Yes.
So it's like what? But
Yes.
yeah, these guys were actually chatting, and it made the game awesome because it's I don't know if you guys are familiar with Firewall, but it's very much like Rainbow Six. It's like you can play it cooperatively or competitively, and your success is largely based on someone just telling you something as simple as "There's a dude coming behind you." You know what I mean? So
It's so
like all that
helpful.
stuff makes a deal. Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, for me personally, look, the story is the be all end all. If without a good story or an engaging
Mhm.
story, I mean, that's one of the things that makes Red Dead work, right? Is a great story, engaging characters. But I mean,
Yeah.
outside of that, it's things like graphics and immersion, and that's something that Gears of War franchise has always had. It's the larger than life characters, the setting itself
Mhm.
blew me away, the play mechanics, the weight of the characters, the camaraderie, the firepower, the amazing differences in the weapons, the really cool enemies. At least in the first few games, you had the locusts, which I thought were almost scary and creepy and cool. I don't
Oh,
sure
and the first
uh,
one was
first few.
mortifying.
The new ones, I don't know, are a little bit too weird to me. You got those fucking pink dogs that fucking fly around with their stupid tails. Like, I don't know, man. Let's just get back to some cool shit. I know they're starting to get a little weird now, starting to look like more like aliens and shit. I don't know, but yeah, that stuff was cool for me. Salty, what's happening? The saltiest gaming is in the house, people. Yo, yo, yo. But some of those things are the things that sell me in a game, and I can tell you the things that I don't like Primal, and it's pretty simple.
Mhm.
And one of the ones that's one of the popular genres right now is the not only just the looter shooters, but I'm going to say this battle royale phase that everybody's in
Yeah.
right now, and I am not a fan. And it's not just because like PUBG, okay, that was the first one that I ever played. And you know what?
Mhm.
Honestly, PUBG's got problems long beyond the game mode itself. But to
Yeah.
me, I just can't get into that style of game because I honestly feel like for the first half an hour of the game, I'm out going around picking shit up. I feel like I'm at fucking Old Navy trying to pick out a better colored shirt. You know what I mean? And it drives me
Oh my
absolutely
god.
bonkers. And then all of this work to get what? To go into a field and you get shot by a
And you
fucking
get
minuscule dot that's in the you can't even see
exactly.
the oh, so all of that for this, it just pisses me off. I don't like it, and now every bloody game
Everything
out there.
has it.
I mean, Super
Yeah.
Mario was going to have battle royale, and at the rate we're going, I mean, holy shit, man! Like, come on. So, like, all of these games are getting this mode. Now I'm hearing good things about Apex, which Stick Figure brings up in the chat, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
cool. I
amazing.
watched Salty play Apex yesterday. He put out a good video. He gives you a good rundown on it and different things. He talks about it a little bit as well. And look, the game looks cool. I know it plays a lot like Titanfall, which is probably a positive. But once again, it's battle royale. I saw this picking up shit forever kind of crap. Get a new gun, get a new scope, get a new sight, blah blah blah. Like I just want to start out
Mhm.
with my gun, the one that I want to play with, and just shoot shit. I don't want to be bothered with that crap. It's not for me. It's not for a lot of people, but apparently it's for way more people than it isn't because look at the popularity of the genre. Everybody wants to get on board with it, but that's one of and looter shooters. And this is a big reason I'm not buying Anthem. Yes, I was dead set on buying it at first. Now I'm not. I think I'm
Mm.
going to pass on it. We're going to get into all that stuff
Yeah.
later. So those are a
Okay,
couple of
good. I have a
no-nos
lot
for me.
to say.
But I love co-op. Anything that's got good co-op, I'm at least willing to try.
Mhm.
Usually, you know what I mean. What's going on, Easy Money Gaming? How you doing, man? All right, or girl, whatever. I'm assuming it's a guy. But
Either
let's
way,
get
they're
in.
easy.
Yeah, let's get in. Let's get into some topics before we get too far along. Um, let's go with one of yours since we're talking about Kingdom Hearts earlier and Resident Evil 2. Those games came out. Resident Evil 2 is obviously like I don't know, like it's a remaster. I don't know what you want to call it because it's not really like a remake. I guess it's more of a remake than a remaster because they basically remade the game from the ground up.
Right? It's a remaster
So
remake. You know
yeah,
it.
it looks amazing. It plays amazing. Lots of people have been like fucking like running wild and bragging about this game. I only got to try the demo and I was quite impressed with it, but I just decided
Mhm.
to spend my money on Kingdom Hearts. But you raise a good question. What other games do you think you would like to see remastered? I know we got Crash Team Racing coming in a couple of months, which would be
Mhm.
cool. So how about yourself, Primal? Then what game would you like to see redone?
Well, I kind of love how this is like the new fad, like bringing old back, I guess. But I would really, 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 really like to see Parasite Eve come back. It was in an RPG, a turn-based RPG shooter, crazy, everything. But if they took that and they turned it into like a third-person shooter, even I think it would be such a sexy ass game. I absolutely love Parasite Eve. I'm trying to think. I'm really, really stuck on that game. I've been thinking about it quite often.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
absolutely.
think.
For me, I don't know, because I mean, one of my favorite games was already remade, and that was Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which I still think is one of the best remakes of all time. People talk about other games. This game always gets left out of that equation. I don't know how, because they did everything from the ground up. They basically turned this game around in no time. and still managed to get Gears of War 4 out the door. So the Coalition, these guys are the fucking bomb. That's why I'm confident Gears 5 is going to like rock your balls or your or your ovaries, whichever one. So yeah, so that's one of them. I mean, for me personally, oh boy, that's a tough one.
I'm trying to think of something else
like
too,
personally for me, I'd like to see somebody go back to like the old some of the old 16-bit era games and make them modern and make them with today's graphics, today's engines. For example, I think Altered Beast, for example, or Revenge of Shinobi, something with Shinobi or Altered Beast would be amazing. Can you imagine an Altered Beast game with a fully fledged story, 3D graphics, and turning into like these characters and then wrecking shit? I think I'd be totally down, because I used to love that game on Genesis. I know it was short, but it was kind of cool. It was a really good arcadey game, and I think a game like that has tons of potential, to be great. Silent Wyvern says keep 16-bit games 16-bit. Well, I think there's a lot of great premises in 16-bit era that were not fully realized because of the technology, but to bring them to today's games, I think it'd be really cool.
Right, I could list off probably a shit ton of RPGs that are 16-bit that I would love to have be brought over, like Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger would be fantastic if it was upgraded to like Final Fantasy 15 graphics, but
Yeah.
it'll probably never happen.
Yeah, we're speaking of Final Fantasy. Where the fuck is number 7? What happened to that? Where is that thing?
Exactly.
Remember, like 2 or 3, I guess it's probably almost 3 or 4 years ago, everybody was bragging that Final Fantasy 7 is getting remade and it's coming out, and the PlayStation crowd at the E3, they were just going nuts. It was just like the big old thing, right? And like we haven't heard a peep about that fucking shit since. It's like, what happened to it? And this is why Sony's gotten in trouble, because of showing shit like that, and then fucking 8 years later, you're like, where is it? Right? Mind you, Microsoft's probably done that crap too, but.
Well, what happened to Avengers that Square was supposed to do?
There
hasn't been a single peep about it. Where did it go? Because I know seven's been up in the air for hundreds of years. They just came out with Kingdom Hearts 3, and that took them 13, 14 years to do from when the second one came out. It was almost 17 years from the first one. So for them to even
well, you know why the game took so long to come out, Primal, because I was in contract negotiations, and it took a long time for them to give me the money that Goofy deserves, because before that, everything went to that fucking mouse. That fucking Mickey Mouse, he gets all the attention, and he takes all the money, and I'm over here sitting in the corner like a stupid dog, and I finally got my dues, and that's why the game got made.
Wow, Goofy just going all in there.
He's just bad because he didn't get enough lines in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh man.
See, okay. I like Tetsuya Nomura. He's been there for a long time. He took over the character designs after I think he started off with 6. He took it after Yoshitaka Amano, and he's been kind of going in his whole mindset direction. It was really, really sad about Final Fantasy Versus 13 that ended up turning into 15, and it wasn't what it was supposed to be. So I definitely understand that it might be time to get rid of Nomura. He does an amazing work. There's nothing. I think he's done. He's had it.
I think that the drugs have gone to their head, because that game, I swear to God, somebody was on some serious weird crack or something when they made that shit. Let me tell you, but it's fun shit. It's just weird shit. You know what I mean? Speaking of all that darkness, I think somebody had an infatuation with anal business back then. But yeah, let's rock and roll.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have fascination with vagina, because if you look at every single boss in every single game, it is a vagina. I'm sorry, but if you go back to like Borderlands and you beat the game again, it's a vagina.
I got my hands up over here. I have an infatuation with it too. I think there's a lot of guys in the chat. They probably do too. But hey, it's okay if if you play for the other team and you prefer a little more sausage in your bun, that's okay too. That's up to you guys.
I don't see myself beating any dicks in any games. Oh, man.
Yeah, that reminds me, guys. One of the best fucking bosses you're ever going to play in a game has to be from what's that? It was on the Wii. It was a Sega game. It was House of the Dead Overkill, and the last boss is this giant naked old lady that spits fucking enemies at you from her vagina. It was fucking bizarre. It was gross. It had a weird ass ending. Trust me. If you still got a Wii and you can get your hands on that game, you have to play it. Plus, one of the main characters, the guy that always swears, was fucking hilarious because like every second word he's like motherfucker. I thought he was like what's his name, Samuel L. Jackson. He's like, motherfucker. He was just motherfucker all the time. Motherfucker. Like he fucked a lot of mothers apparently. So crazy guy.
Nothing wrong with fucking mothers. Just saying.
Absolutely.
Wink, wink.
Nothing wrong with MILFs out there. Launch is what genital jousting. What the hell is that? Oh, that reminds me. I watched a movie the other night and the kid brought up double dicking, and I was like, what the hell is double dicking? I have no idea. I told you guys, if you've got what's going on, middle-aged game guy, if you have sensitive ears or you don't like R-rated podcasts, guys, I will tell you now, you probably came to the wrong spot. Okay. Yeah, but anyway, we're it's easy to get off topic when me and Primal get going into a podcast. Primal, let's speaking of, let's go in and talk about this Anthem, okay? Because I know this, everybody's been out, everybody's played the demo, everybody bitched about the demo because it had a shitload of server problems and all that shit. So just give me your thoughts outside of the technical bullshit, because that's here and there. Like that's, that happens to a lot of things. Talk about that. You played it, right? So I want to know, what was your impression of it? Has it made you excited for the game, or are you planning to pass on it? I want to know why, either which way.
Well, when I first started, I was like, okay, this is interesting. And I'm playing through, and I'm playing as Storm. That was the class that I chose to play as. And I'm using the abilities, and I'm playing with a buddy of mine. And he's like, that you can combo these abilities. I'm like, oh, really? So I started doing it. And then I'm starting to get these flashbacks of Mass Effect Andromeda throughout the whole entire game, be it the enemies, the weapons, the abilities, the classes. I was really kind of hoping for something fresh and something new. Now, I'm not saying that the game is bad or anything. I think it's great. But for me, I feel like I've already played it before. And it's definitely a recycled multiplayer that BioWare did, which isn't... It's not necessarily a bad thing, because they definitely made some changes and they upgraded it. But for people who played the Mass Effect multiplayer as much as I have, it might get old quick. I don't think there was a story. There was a story, but it wasn't catching my attention. I wasn't really listening too much because it was kind of all over the place. It was like, do this, but wait, go save this, but hang on, there's multiplicity going on in town, and there's a bunch of guys over here that look the same, talk the same, but wait, one of them's gone, go get him. So I was kind of all over the place with that. It is a great looking game. It is a smooth playing game. It's just something that I'm not excited about, at least not as excited about as when I first started playing it.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I got excited about the game was obviously the early E3 trailers from a few years back and stuff, and I was excited. The principle itself for the game is sound. I like the concept. I like the play mechanics of the game. They feel like a more refined version of Mass Effect Andromeda, and that was one of the strongest points about Andromeda. It had solid play controls. It was just the game, it lacked in some other areas. And this game, to me, it just feels like it's a shooter for the sake of being a multiplayer shooter, the pad the wallet of EA, because it just doesn't, I think Dealer summed it up earlier when his RDX. He said it just doesn't feel like a BioWare game. It doesn't feel like the stuff we've been accustomed to and used to. And maybe they think that's a good thing, but in my opinion, to me, it's not. To me, like I said, I thought the suits were cool. I think the customization is great, but you know what? I get in, and it's another bunch of bullet sponge enemies. It basically feels like I'm playing a story wrapped around a horde mode. You know what I'm saying? Like, there really feels, I know it was a demo, but it really feels like there's no substance to the game other than, hey, I'm going to get in with my buddies. We're going to shoot a pile of shit. We're going to get some pink and purple weapons. We're going to come back, take some screenshots, and brag about how our fucking machine looks like Iron Man. And this is like the coolest thing since sliced bread. It's like, just because you can fly, you know what? You can fly the fuck too. That's okay. Like, honestly, I don't think the game is bad. I just think that after playing it, it's really not where I wanted it to go. It's not the kind of game I expected or really wanted. And this, I guess, is because I expected more like Mass Effect with suits. But honestly, to me, this feels like more like it feels more like Destiny with jetpacks, essentially. Like this going to this world, talking to a guy, getting some little dinky ass mission. Oh, go over here and blow this shit up so we can get to the terminal. And get what you get when you blow up the terminal. You get some legendary purple web. Like I'm also sick of seeing purple, the same colors in every game. Purple for legendary or gold. It's like, when every game stop copying every other game, even use a different color code for fuck's sake. Like seriously. Like this is my problem, and I don't want people to take it wrong that I'm slamming Anthem. I think it's going to be a great game for people that like that style of game. It's the same people that probably like The Division are probably going to love this game. But for me, I didn't like The Division either. It's a looter shooter. People told me about it. Now that I played it, I'm like, I'm not fucking sold. I'm not sold at all. I just because the only saving grace for me is the co-op. That's the thing. This is what worries me. How is a game going to play when I'm playing it by myself? And I don't think I'll have a lot of fun with it, to be honest with you.
No, you will not.
And can you play it by yourself? Can I play as one fucking dude, or do I have to be always online and I have to play with randoms if I can't get my friends? This is what I want to know, because if the game is hard with fucking friends. If the game's like that when you're playing by yourself, then fuck it. Like, I mean, half these enemies are just, they got heat-seeking fucking guns and they're just taking you to town every chance you get. So, like, what do you think on that?
I don't know. It depends. Like what you said about the whole co-op thing. I would always have someone to play with. I don't like playing with randoms. I usually can take people off my friends list, but then that's it. You know, once you beat this, then what? And then there's also going to be the grind for everything. There's a grind in almost any type of RPG shooter. And I know you said about the whole color system and the looting and all that shit. That's going to be in any RPG. It just sucks because you do need to have other people with you. You can't go in solo. There was the what mode was it? Shit, Stronghold. There's no way you're going to be able to do that by yourself. The enemies are like 10 times harder than the previous ones, and you have to go and be at certain locations. There's constantly shooting in all directions. If you walk out by yourself, you're done.
Well, on top of that, I'm not a fan. You got to kill enemies to get your bloody ammo. Like, where's the crates? Where's anything? Because I don't know how many times I'm shooting at an enemy. They take almost all the fucking, they take almost all of the ammo, and then you got to wait to kill somebody if you're lucky enough to get your health and your ammo back. It's like, what is up with this crap?
That I think, like, within 5 minutes of me playing, I asked if there was an ammo box anywhere that I could go to, because it was in one of the situations where you had to stay in the ring to sink something, and I couldn't leave because we're surrounded by enemies, and I didn't have anything to kill them, and my abilities were still recharging, and there's only so much I could do with those. So the ammo doesn't really drop that much, but I know that your equipment, depending on what you have, it increases the drops, I think, but it's only by like 3%.
Quite possibly,
You're still pocket.
But like I said, those are just a couple of things that worry me. This is a little bit different than I guess my initial impressions led me to believe, and now I'm not convinced. Maybe down the road, possibly, but you know what? It's a game that I can feel that if I bought it, not that I don't think I'd hate the game. I certainly didn't hate the demo by any means. It's just a game that I feel like if I bought it, I won't play it enough to justify paying the money for it. So that's why I'm kind of out. You know what I mean? And it makes me just wonder, like today when these games are getting made, it's like I feel like game developers don't go in anymore with the idea, let's make a really cool and unique game and try something new, as opposed to they sit down at the boardroom and some big dipshit comes in from EA or whatever and goes, well, you know what's popular out there right now? It's this type of game. So like, can you guys make this type of game for us? Because that's what I feel it's like. I don't feel like these ideas are being spawned from creative directors going, like, I don't give a, you know what I mean? Like, for example, Wolfenstein: The New Colossus, a fucking amazing game. You know what? I bet you half the people didn't buy it, but you know, I commend them is that they didn't walk the line and go, well, we got to put a multiplayer in here because everybody got one. We need to have a fucking battle Royale in Wolfenstein because everybody got one. Like, I like the fact they have balls enough to go with their vision, go with a story-based game, kick it, knock it out of the park. But you know what? Well, people don't buy it, I suppose, or they don't go nuts over it because, again, it's just another shooter, which it's anything but another shooter. But I commend them for just bringing out that game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm starting to wonder if we're going to start seeing less and less and less like really cool concept games that can stand on their own, unless it's Sony, because Sony seems to don't mind doing the single player story based games. And I commend Sony for that. They don't back down. They're not throwing shit into their fucking game because it has to be popular. Like, yeah, to some degree, they did it with Uncharted. They had to throw in a multiplayer for that, but this is what I'm saying. But at least they stick to it. They don't try to make stuff that, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Right. So, like, eventually, are we going to start seeing the death of great single player or even a great single, like Gears of War? Gears of War Primal is almost an anomaly now. A game that, one, plays really good on its own. You can play it single player and enjoy the fuck out of it. And it plays even better if you got friends. But that seems to be less and less of what we're getting these days. Yeah. Now we're getting, well, how could we make the game like that will keep making people play it long enough to buy the microtransactions?
Ugh, right. Gears has been doing a fan-fucking-tastic job with that, with all their loot boxes and stuff that you can get and you pay for $9.99 and up for a chance. Not even anything guaranteed, for a chance. I know somebody that drops at least $150 a week just for a chance to get a certain skin for a character. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. I've given him so much shit all the time. But it's just it has gotten to the point where they are catering more to what people or how to make money more instead of doing something new that people could love. Stop giving me the same food. I want to try something different.
That's right. Am I going to spend all sorts of money on a hooker? I better be getting some poontang. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's right. Not the chance at the pants will come off. Be like, no fucking way. They coming off. I'm spending that money. I mean, these loot crates are like fucking. Some of these shit's the biggest jip ever, right? Because you're not even guaranteed. It's like, at least if you could see it on the screen, if you pay $10 and you get this, and this, I'm cool with that because you know what you're getting. But to pay fucking money for gamble to basically not even know what you're getting. It's like, these fucking little things of figures are at like the EB Games now, and the GameStop's EB Games, whatever, where you you get those little boxes now with the figure, and you look on the back and there's like 20 figures, and it's like, I'm going to pay $10 to get a figure, but I don't even know which figure I'm going to get. Like, I don't want all the ugly ones. I want to get the cool one. But you're like, well, you're telling me that I literally got to go in the store, pay, $10 per every character, and I might buy 15 boxes and never get the character I want. It's like, what's up with that? Like, I don't even get that shit.
It's fucking ridiculous. My daughter, she was into My Little Pony back in the day, and she wanted the mystery bags and chance. And then for her birthday, I think I bought 10. They were like $10 a piece. I said, fuck it. Here you go. I want to say almost 8 out of the 10 were the same exact damn pony. And do you want to know where those ponies are? I have an idea.
They're all on YouTube right now.
Exactly. It's a waste. It really
what's going on, everybody in the chat? Once again, we can't thank you enough for being here for the inaugural episode of Gaming After Dark with Newf Nukem and Primal Eve.
And Primal Eve. I just saw Jago into the room.
What's going on, Jago? Armored Reaper, how's it going? We got Mega Bad Seed in here, Crazy Greek Dude, Silent Wyvern, Shizno Elite, Lunch Bizzle is here, Z Black out right there. We had Saltiest Gaming, a Stick Figure, Wild Baits. Dreadpool is up in here. What's going on, Dreadpool? We got Middle-Aged Game Guy, Easy Money Gaming, Lunch Bizzle, Cybernox is here. At least most of these people are here. If I didn't acknowledge you before, make sure you Great Skull Zero. Make sure you let me know, because again, if you're taking even a minute out of your night to come and join us, then I feel that the least we can do is acknowledge that you are here. You guys are fantastic. Yeah, so I don't want to beat this to death. I'm probably pissing off a lot of people tonight. I feel like my views on gaming in the last couple of weeks have been so right-wing compared to everybody else. But I want you to understand, I give you my views as my honest opinion. It's not me slamming. I don't like to slam any game if I haven't played it. Okay, like that's the thing. Like I've never I never ever said a bad word about Kingdom Hearts games. I never played one, and I always said, you know what, they look really cool. I don't have one. Plus, mostly I never really had the PlayStations. I finally got to play one, and guess what? You know what? Surprisingly enough, I actually like it even more than I thought I would, and that's cool. You know what I mean? So yeah, Dreadpool, what's happening, bro? Yeah, so but anyway, let's get into some more topics here, and let's talk about, I guess, this other one, and I guess kind of we're sort of segueing in about some of these games and different things. Apex, what's it called? Apex Legends just came out. Respawn, instead of apparently making Titanfall 3, they've kind of dropped it in favor of this Apex Legends, which is basically kind of Titanfall without the Titans, kind of like Call of Duty. It is a battle royale game. Everybody's talking about it. People are raving about it right now. I've seen some video of it, people playing the game, and yes, it looks cool, but once again, it's battle royale. So first of all, Primal, I mean, are you even a fan of battle royale, and have you had a chance to even try this game?
I used to be pretty good into PUBG for a while, and then I just wasn't happening anymore. I played the other night a few matches, and I ended up dying more because of the environment than the actual players. And I got some clips that are very interesting. I might share later. I see Apex. I see them riding the battle royale train.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they're putting Titanfall 3 on hold because they want some of this battle royale money. If they think that they could do it better than what everybody else is doing, then why not? Mm-hmm. They have the microtransactions. It's where they're going to be getting their money. Maybe they'll use their money for another game.
Yeah.
It is a little disappointing that Titanfall 3 is on hold. It doesn't mean that they are not making it at all. They're just trying to get this battle royale money, like I said. I am a little over it. I am expecting almost every game to have a battle royale. I'm looking at Overcooked 2 right now, waiting for it to be updated with a battle royale who can make the best burger. It's outrageous. I worry about Gears of War. It's been spoken about before about them having a battle royale. I don't want them to go into like a Call of Duty direction where it's just strictly multiplayer. That would break my heart immediately. It's smart. Unfortunately, it is smart because this is the time and the era for these types of games. They just need to figure out how to do it better. And so far from what I've been seeing, it's doing pretty well. I actually will be trying it out maybe at some point this week. I got a buddy of mine that's been busting my ass about trying to play it. So I'm going to do it. I know you're not.
Well, Jago brings up, and this is something where he says Gears 5 only battle royale this just in. You know what? And I'm scared to fucking death that Gears is going to try it too. And honestly, like, I suppose, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, it's like, you know what? Please don't, Coalition. Don't sell out just because that's the fucking flavor of the month. You know what I mean? Like, Gears doesn't need battle royale. Gears has always had lots of players. It's a good game on its own. I mean, I suppose there's people out there be like, yes, Gears battle royale would be fucking amazing. Maybe it would. I don't fucking know. I still don't like battle royale. I mean, can you imagine having to go out and pick up a bunch of shit in Gears the way that game is, trying to pick up your crap before you can fucking get to the end? Ugh.
Did in Gears of War Judgment. I don't like talking about this game, but they had a battle royale mode where it was just one, like, for yourself.
Right.
And it was awful. It was probably one of the least played game types on there. But it was just everybody racing for the one weapon, and we all end up punching each other in the face for like 10 minutes. And that's how I died. I just spent 30 minutes picking out my skin, making sure it matches the skin on the guns that I want, just to die.
You get in Gears, you drop into the map, you got to find bullets for the Lancer if you're lucky enough to find the Lancer. Then maybe you even got to get some chainsaw oil or the fucking thing doesn't work. I don't know.
It was awful because then you could also like parkour off the wall. So you had some dude waiting up in the corner like Spider-Man watching you while you're going up to the sniper. It was absolutely awful.
I never played Gears of War Judgment multiplayer. I heard it was absolutely horrendous, so I never even bothered, and thank God for that. I didn't want to ruin my Gears experience with a fucking half-assed effort, so.
Yeah, no, stick to regular Gears.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like I will, let's say this much, you know, and people have told me already, Newf, you should try the one from Call of Duty Blackout, and you know, and I will say, if any game is going to do like a battle royale mode right, it probably would be again the Call of Duty, or perhaps even this Apex Legends, because the play mechanics in those games have always been solid. Those games generally run really smooth, like at 60 frames a second kind of thing. So I totally get it. And again, I'm not dissing anybody that likes the game mode. You know, everybody has entitled to their opinion, and you like what you like. You know what I mean? Whether it's a turn-based RPG or a strategy game or a puzzle game, everybody has their likes. Me, I like simple action-based games. Again, this is why, to me, a game like Hellblade trumps 90% of the games I've played in the last 5 years. Why? Because the game doesn't try to be a knockoff of anything else. It doesn't try to be something it's not. It doesn't go with bullet sponge enemies. It doesn't fucking add RPG elements. It doesn't add 50,000 weapons. You're never going to use even half of them. It gives you a sword. It gives you the girl. It gives you solid play mechanics, a crazy ass story, amazing graphics, and nothing else but. And you don't need 50 hours to beat it. You don't get stuck doing 5,000 dumbass fucking side quests. You're just playing the game as it was meant to be played. And I love it. And I wish more people would make games like that, because that reminds me of the old 16-bit days. When you played a game, you had your little story, but you went from point A to point B. You finished the bitch if you're lucky enough to finish it. And that was it. You were done with it. No fucking off the rails crap. Alex Jones, what's up, man? But you guys know where I'm coming from, right? You know what I mean? It's like even Red Dead Redemption. There's so many side quests and so many other. You don't have to do them. I get that, but I'm like ADD when I get up in there. It's like I got to do it. I got to do it, and then I'm sidetracked. I can't remember what I'm doing. I don't remember if half the missions are even like legitimately tied to the story. You know what I mean? Like, this is why a game like The Witcher 3 is, everybody brags about that game, and I'm like, I'm playing it and I'm going, I can't get into it because it's fucking too daunting for me. You know what I mean?
Right, you're getting completely overwhelmed. You want a straight good story from beginning to finish. And I, like you said, Hellblade was fantastic because it was a new experience. A lot of the games coming out are experiences that we've already experienced, and they're getting old. I can't tell you if I have a favorite game at all that's been out actually probably since The Witcher. Kingdom Hearts is great, but I have my issues with that. But I miss having brand new experiences. I want to bring them back. Like Resident Evil, I know will be a new experience. It is based off of an older game, but they made it so that it feels new again. And a lot of games are just not doing that anymore. It's the same shit over and over and over.
Alex Jones, why do women have a voice on my channel? Because she's smart, she's amazing, she's a lot like me, she's raunchy, she's fucking awesome. And a lot of girl gamers are fucking awesome. Not all of them, but many of them are. And absolutely. And they deserve a voice in our community as much as I do or anybody else do. And I'll stick by that any day of the week, man. Girls are fucking amazing. I respect girl gamers, especially the ones who actually know how to game, not the ones that just get on a bimbo channel, flash their tits, and try to act like they know everything about the game. That's a different story altogether. Mind you, I don't mind, a little cleavage when I'm watching my fucking games and all, because I'm a pervert and I get horny. But you know what I'm saying here, guys. Primal is awesome. She can kick just about anybody's ass in this fucking panel at Gears of War, and that I swear to you, she can take me to town any day of the week. She is awesome at it. So there you go. Well, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you're just tripping, bro, because otherwise, yeah.
I am far from being weak or fragile. Trust me.
Absolutely. Now he's probably just tripping, but anyway, respect your opinions, whatever. But yeah, let's keep going on here, guys. But anyway, Apex Legends, it looks cool. I'm probably not even going to bother again. It's just more time out of my day that I just don't have to spend, and it's another battle royale. So, bring me Titanfall 3. That's what I want. But outside of the Merle Films, what's happening, bro? How you doing? All right. So let's move right along here, everybody, and let's talk about some more topics. And I guess because we're like at 8:50 already, let's get into one of the big ones. That is basically Microsoft is basically planning to put their games on everything right up to probably urinals and toilets. It's just about at that point at this point. So looks like they're talking about doing some Xbox Live shit with Nintendo, perhaps. Doing some iOS stuff, some Android stuff. I don't really know where they're going with it all, but I'm a little concerned. I'll tell you why, but let's get your take on it, Eve.
I'm not really looking into it because I don't care. That's pretty much what it is. I think it's great that Microsoft is trying to take over the world. Pretty much, is what it feels like. It'll be great to stream. I don't even really know what the hell they're doing. It's just Xbox Live on the Switch. I don't even know. I haven't really been reading too much into it. I've read about what you posted on Twitter because it was very entertaining. But yeah, I think it's great that they're doing options. I don't know what their true intentions are. I think maybe once I find out some more information, then yeah, I might look into it. But at this point, I don't have a Switch. It doesn't really affect me. I don't really play on any other device besides the Xbox. So it's just to me, I just see it as options.
Sure. And I totally get that. I really do get why people are, gung ho for it and all of this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I get the reasoning behind it. And look, companies are in this business obviously to make money, but that's just it. Xbox has been making, money hand over fist the last few years, even without the big exclusives, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I guess I'm just old school, and change does not come easy to me. And I just feel like every time I get comfortable with something or get, used to the idea, they're throwing these other things out. Like, the thing is, I'm not asking Microsoft for any of the shit that they're basically giving me. So who is asking for these things? Or they just ideas they're throwing at the wall, hoping that they stick. And most people are just like, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like everybody's so eager to jump on the company line. But and I'm going to sound like a console fanboy here and I hate sounding like that. But honestly, what is the point of Xbox if you can basically play your Xbox on anything but an Xbox? This is my whole point. And yes, that means I'm sort of defending the plastic box, the console wars. I'm going to sound like a console wars here, even though that's really not my intention. Mm-hmm. But like, what is the whole point? You know what I mean? Like I don't get to play games enough of it is. I don't need to be out there, tapping an Xbox Live on my phone or taking shit on my Switch, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just like, if Xbox wants to get into the portable game business, then fucking make an Xbox portable. It's, Xbox One portable or something. That shit I'd be behind. I don't want to play Xbox on my fucking Switch. Like, that's just how it is. I know, like I said, it sounds weird, but I don't know, like, it's just corporate shilling at its finest. Like eventually I can see a day where there is no console, period. Games will be able to be played, and they'll probably be able to be played through your fucking smart TV. It is coming. I feel that all these companies are gung-hoing for the Netflix of gaming. They want to be in every single home they can because they're not satisfied that they're already in fucking 500 million homes. No, we want to be in 1.5 billion homes. Like, you know what? What is this? If you want to play Xbox games, why don't you go out and get an Xbox? This is not my question to the people out there. What is keeping you from buying an Xbox? Why is it easy to go get an Xbox game? Because I want to play it on the phone, or I want to play it on a fucking PC, or I want to play it wherever. Like, this is the thing. Like, get an Xbox. That's what people do with PlayStation. When you want to play fucking Uncharted, guess what? You go out and you buy a PlayStation. You don't get there and go, I'm gonna get a fucking phone. Like, I'm gonna get this. No, you go and get. And this is what I'm saying. And Jago says, yes, it devalues the Xbox brand, but this is where I'm saying, like, Xbox no longer is looked at now, or they don't want it to be looked at as a console itself. They want it to be a brand that is synonymous with, like, say, Netflix, where you can play Netflix on your phone, you can put it on your computer, you can have it on your TV. That is kind of where they're going. That essentially is what they are doing. And I guess I understand the logic, and I understand why. It's just like, I didn't ask for it. I don't know how many other gamers asked for it. I was quite content with buying a new plastic box and playing the games on said plastic box.
It's
and
all
again,
about the money.
It's all about the money. It's all about but how much is enough?
Wyvern brought up a point, though. If you saw what he said about, because Nintendo's doing so well, Microsoft is seeing money signs. They do want to buddy up with them to make more money. They're not really looking at the Xbox players or consumers. They're looking at whatever they could do to get that extra change.
Yeah. Well, we already got plenty of options. You know what I mean? There's lots of options out there now as it is. I don't know. I just don't understand the reasoning behind it other than money. And most people out there right now, they're all about the convenience, about, how to get the games where they want, when they want, and as cheap as they want. I have no problems paying full price for any of my games, period. That's why I don't need Game Pass. I don't need, like I said, I don't need hundreds of games that I'll never fucking play that just take up space on my hard drive. I'm quite fine with paying 60 to 80 bucks for one game that I want to play than paying fucking $10 or $12 a month for hundreds of games that I really could give a shit about, like at the end of the day. But I do get where people are going. It is value for your money. It's options, and options are always good. I can't sit here and deny that fact. I'm not going to be that asinine. All I can say at the end of the day, guys, Newf is a stubborn old bastard. I think my days as a gamer are severely getting numbered. I really do.
No. I see what you're saying. It's not necessarily what is going on. It's the direction that they're heading towards. And I definitely agree with that. I've been gaming for a long time. It's always been about having that console, even offline back in the day when co-op was actually inviting your friend over and seeing somebody face to face, not voice to voice, and all of that. It's where gaming came from. And now it's kind of going in this whole modernized, these new gamer type world, which I'm not a fan really of some of the community that's been coming around because of this more modernized gaming. But I definitely see where you're going. Unfortunately, it's happening type thing.
It is. There's no stopping the juggernaut. The ball is already rolling down the hill. It's just going to get larger. It's picking up steam as it goes. I'm just a very, very small minority. I can't speak for the majority. I know the majority are out there. There's a good majority in the chat who obviously are super excited for Microsoft's direction. I don't plan on like not buying Microsoft or planning to buy their products and stuff. I'm planning to get their new consoles at some point in time down the road. I just hope I know for now there will be consoles to come. I don't know how much longer they're going to keep coming. I don't know if we know they'll be here within the next couple of years. Will there be still consoles in the next 10 to 15? That remains a good question. Or consoles as we know them, at least.
Right.
They might be some sort of connection, but as we know them as a physical box with a disc, blah, 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 they may not exist in that format anymore, right? So, it's one of those things. But the thing is, too, that I don't like is, like I said, corporations, they ease us into these, like I said, it's easy to get people excited because they give you all these great prices. Oh, like you can get all these games for this much and you could do this for this much. And people don't understand, like they literally, they go in head over feet because, yes, you're thinking about convenience, you're thinking about price and all the savings and blah, blah, blah. And eventually the industry's really changed and all of a sudden you can't go back and do anything about it because it's already too late. And I had a great point that sort of just lost it in my head. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it all. I guess only time will tell. Do you know what I mean? But I was going to say like years ago, who would have ever thought that the video stores and the game stores would have been where they are? Like 10 years ago, I would never have thought it. And now they're on life support. We're down to the final bunch.
I thought
and it bothers
back in
me.
2005, when I first started working at a game that buys and sells used games, I thought that was my career. I thought I was going to be in there forever. And now looking back at it, I'm glad that I had the time. I was there for a little over 6 years, and that was more than enough just for working there. But these businesses, it's just going to be like Blockbuster or Hollywood Video and all of like the DVD rental places that we had.
I miss those.
Hoping that they had one copy.
Heck,
and some asshole scratched it.
It's not even that, Primal. I mean, I go into my EB Games, which is basically GameStop in Canada. They label EB Games up here for those of you who don't know. It's still run by the same company. But I walk into these stores, and it disappoints me because what used to be a store that was 100% gaming is now about 70% toys and collectibles and 30% gaming. The walls are minuscule. They don't even put new games out on the fucking wall anymore. They put the whole wall full of their pre-played shit. So they make people obviously buy the pre-play because they wouldn't even ask about the new ones. It drives me nuts. It's like, why don't you put out, we have it new, we have it used? But no, the whole wall now is pretty much used. And most people just think, well, that's what they have, right? So don't even ask for the new game. It drives me nuts. But I still miss the store as it used to be. And now we've got some fucked up, weird version of GameSpot because obviously and I understand why they're doing it because they're trying to stay afloat. They're losing money hand over fist because of digital sales. And that's what bothers me is I get why people buy digital, but it bothers me that nobody even gives a shit that all these people lose their jobs. These companies go under because people just, opted out and went the other way. You know what I mean? And it just bothers me that nobody really gives a shit,
It's all for whatever is most convenient for that person.
I love the one. Well, you don't go digital because I hate getting up off my couch to change a disc. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys, if this offends them, but I'm going to offend away. If you're fucking too lazy to move 3 feet to change a disc, I'm fucking sorry, man. You can call me a fat fuck all you want, but you know what? My fat fuck ass can get up 3 feet to change a fucking disc. I am sorry, but that's how I'm going to put it. Man, I told you I could go in tonight.
No, it's good. I love it. You make a lot of valid points. People, I see the whole digital thing. I can't say anything too bad about it because I am very lucky to be sharing with somebody, and the only way that they could do that is digitally. But I also understand you and having that physical, holding that plastic and smelling the freshness when you take it off, and it's just having the whole collection and actually being able to see your collection instead of just like click, 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 and then, oh, that's what I have. It's two different feelings.
Yeah.
I definitely understand having that. If I could afford it, I would probably have my own physical collection as well.
Now, I totally agree with Dreadpool in chat. He travels. He says digital works. Now, I totally works. Like if you got a portable system, and this is kind of the thing. Like if you look at the Switch
Mm-hmm.
more than any of the consoles should be more digital because it's portable. And who the fuck if you're portable and you're on the go, you're on a bus, you're going to grandma's house or where the fuck you're going, you don't want to bring around a big ass collection of bags. Like that was probably the biggest thing I always annoyed with CDs was I love my CDs. I still buy CDs actually, but it's when you're traveling or you're going somewhere and you got to bring a bag of fucking CDs, especially with those shitty ass cases that they never did change. They either give you cardboard that fucking tore up in a day, or they give you those stupid jewel cases that fucking crack the moment you open them. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
I remember when we read out, we just used to give out the paper envelopes with the plastic. I remember I would get bored and I would feel bad, so I would draw pictures and make my own cases for people.
Absolutely.
And then I'd wrap them so that they were like new.
I mean, hell, digital made more sense on the Xbox 360 because the fucking discs, they scratched up too easy. I don't know how many times you go and you buy a used game, be like, fuck, this thing looks like somebody stuck it inside of a toaster and fucking ground it. You know what I mean? It's like crazy. But anyway, I'm not here to bitch or rain on anybody's parades. As I said once, and I'll say it again, Newf is a cranky old bastard who's going to go kicking and screaming into the new age. It's going to happen. I got no choice, but eventually, you know what I mean? At some point in time, I won't be able to get a real vagina. The fucking world will be filled with fake dolls and shit. And I guess I'll have to cohort and go in. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying, guys? At some point in time, I'm probably going to have to change. If I want to keep gaming, I'm going to have to conform, or I guess I can just fucking walk away. I got two choices, right? That's pretty much the way it is. But anyway, I'm not here to bitch about that. I'm not here to rag on anybody who's gone all fucking digital because I get it. You guys just got to bear with me that Newf's a grumpy old fuck that just, like I said, takes a little while to come around. But I guess at some point in time, it probably will. Let's get into a couple more topics. Get off my lawn. You guys are fucking awesome. Who did I not address in the chat tonight? Merle Films, what's going on, man? Jago's been here chiming in. Love the input, Jago. I can't wait to see you next week, Jago. Back on the Game Dosage, by the way. It's going to be a lot of fun. By the way, I will mention, I guess, the Game Dosage podcast is coming back next week. So Jago and I will be there, as long with the Tactical Glitcher and Foxy Proto. However, I do have some sad news. Primal, due to other obligations, won't be joining us. And neither will Invader, because he's got other obligations as well. And obviously, Stinking Corpse backed that a little while back, too. So we're down to kind of 4 members, possibly adding a 5th, but we'll see where it goes. Let's get back into some more topics. We got a lot of juicy stuff here tonight. All right, let's see. Where we at here? Let me give you a second here, Primal. I got to go down through it. There's so much shit here going up. Well, let's talk about Microsoft, though, snapping up all this dev talent. I don't remember the guys' names, but they just recently got a level designer from Sony Santa Monica, I think it was, from the God of War franchise. And they also got this dude from Nintendo. Again, I can't remember his name either, but yeah. The names aren't important. We just know they're top talents, right? And they're going over to Microsoft to help. I think both of them went to the Initiative, if I'm correct, or maybe the Nintendo guy just went to Microsoft. I don't know. But what do you think of Microsoft really going all in on these studios? And they're out there now snapping up some of the best.
Oh yeah, they're getting the cream of the crop with the open wallet. They're trying to trump anything. Like I said before, like they're trying to take over the world. So they're going to try and pick and pull whatever they can to make the best to make the best of the best, which is great for us gamers. It sucks for other development teams that they could be losing people to Microsoft, but I'm all for it. The only thing is you got to show it. If you're getting all this talent and you're putting together all these things, just like with all the new the new developers and companies that they've been buying up, I need to start seeing things now. I'm kind of just like, okay, I'm excited. I know what we have now. All right, what are you doing with it? So Absolutely. I'm just hoping that because they're singling out people, that they have something going on.
Absolutely.
See it.
Well, I mean, it certainly helps when you right off the ground. You don't have to train someone in. You don't have to wait and see what their pedigree is. You don't have to wait a couple of years to go, well, that person's talented. You already know they've got a bit of a repertoire or a resume, and they're coming in hitting like. I mean, first of all, they hire that Gallagher guy who was the game director for the Tomb Raider reboot games. I mean, you see how amazing those games were, how they basically rented the franchise. So, I think the biggest thing is we know that Microsoft's snapping up the talent. I guess the question is, how much money will they allot to each studio? Hey, what's going on, Michael Monkey Punch? Yobi Dram, what's happening, dude? And the question is, how much money are they going to allot to each studio? How much arm room are they going to give them, a little wiggle room? And are they just going to let them make the games that they really want to make? Or is it going to be a case of Microsoft walking in and going, we got this talented director, but hey, you need to make a battle royale game right now. I hope the fuck they don't. Just stay the clear way. Stop following the market trends. Do your own thing. Make games that we want to play, not just fucking let's copy everything out in the market and hope that it hits. Def Jam, Bam is in the room. Ooh, I knew the sound effects were going off. I knew I heard goals in the background somewhere. But yeah, like I'm excited. I think at this E3 we're going to see the fruits of some of the labor. I definitely think we're going to see I think we could possibly even see up to 3 IPs from some of these franchises, because there is no question they announced those studios last year, but some of those studios were well underway into their projects long before Microsoft came public with the announcement. Like Phil wasn't sitting back for the 3 years, and took him 3 years to sign contracts. That dude was on this shit, I think, like pretty much, within a 6 or 7 months of him taking over the role. You know what I mean? He rent the fucking town. He went to Japan. Like, we already saw the benefits of his trips, because we're seeing games premiered on the Xbox stage we never thought would have been on the Xbox stage, like Devil May Cry, et cetera, right? So, like, Phil's been putting in the work. Whether some people love to hate on Phil, but the man has got his eye on gaming, and he's trying to do not what's only best for him, but obviously for Microsoft as a core, and he wants to spread gaming to as many places as he can. That sort of, and then ultimately at the end of the day, gamers win, and of course Microsoft wins, because the more places games are, the more money they obviously will make, and that usually in turn is just a good for everybody. So I totally get it. But I'm excited. I think there's good things coming, Primal. And which studio are you kind of excited the most for? I mean, outside of the Coalition, they're making Gears 5. There's, I'm so excited. I know, like we're months away. We're going to see a lot about this game. I'm fucking getting a boner just thinking about it. It's going to be awesome.
Oh my God. I am so excited. So excited for Ninja Theory. I want to see what they have. Hellblade impressed me so much that I am excited to see what they have going on in their heads. I want to see it. I want to see it now. I want to play it next week. Mm-hmm. That's what I want.
Oh, baby, I know. I can't wait. Yeah, I think Merle Films is the initiative. I'm an initiative, but honestly, after Hellblade, fucking Ninja Theory got me super excited. I can't wait to see what they're going to bring to the table. Now they've got the finances and the resources, and to see that they made Hellblade with a very small fucking team, it's like, man, what are they going to make now when they got the resources and more talent behind them? Like, holy hell. And they got some great games they could go back to if they really wanted. Like, I think there's lots of life in that. Was it Enslaved? Like, that game itself, if they made a sequel, could be a potential hit. There was also the one on PlayStation 3 a few years back too. What was it? With the girl in it. What was that game? She had the red hair. Anybody remember the one I'm talking about? Ninja Theory made it. It was a really cool game, actually. It was kind of riding the coattails of God of War. It was kind of like God of War, basically, with a female protagonist.
Heavenly Sword?
Heavenly Sword, yes. It was basically, a female character long before it was, the hip trend to have every game have a female character. So that was kind of cool. Heavenly Sword, thank you. But yeah, they definitely got some stuff in the tank if they want to go there. And I mean, another sequel to Hellblade certainly wouldn't go astray if they wanted to really dive deep into that franchise. Yeah. So, Sony owns the IP. Well, that kind of fucking sucks. Well, I guess you can call it Godly Sword and just change her hair to fucking yellow. So, Heavenly Sword, Godly Sword. There you go. We just a little knockoff of our own game here. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited because they got some big studios. It's going to be fantastic. Let's talk about some movies. Like, let's just get out of the whole games thing where, that gets old quick sometimes. Every podcast is always talking games. Let's just talk about some movies right now. For the chat, any movie in particular, anybody you're really excited about this year? I can tell you what mine is so far. How about you, Eve? What movie are you excited for? And I want to ask you as well about the new Avengers trailer. They did one at the Super Bowl. Plus, I hear that Ben Affleck is actually out as Batman. I don't know if people are crying about that or not, but what's your take? And what movie are you excited for?
I'm not really worried about Ben Affleck not being around anymore. He did a good job playing the Batman that he did. I feel like that the Batman that they chose for those movies was more of like the older Batman of him being a detective. He wasn't really like super active or anything like that. He was just head of the group, doing his shit. So I'm okay with him not being there anymore. I could even see them going with a younger Batman now,
right,
instead of an older one, because we've kind of already seen the history of what happened with Batman and the end. They could even bring back Dick. They could have Robin. they could have Robin coming in and taking over and focus on him more, because Batman does retire, and we could see more of him.
I love it how she just emphasized, well, they could bring back Dick. Yeah, there you go. Every Batman needs a little more Dick.
Yeah, I agree. But we could I am looking forward towards, well, of course, all the Marvel movies. Yeah.
Right.
There really hasn't been any movies that have well, there's been a couple. I know it's out in theaters already, but I really want to see Glass. I was a fan of Unbreakable and Split, so I want to see the conclusion of them. I am a big book reader, and one of my favorite books of all time, Good Omens, is a movie. I am waiting for that to come out on Amazon. But yeah, I don't know. For movies, I don't know. I've been more into watching TV series and things like that. So every once in a while.
Speaking of, Game of Thrones is coming soon. I am super stoked. Can't wait for that one. Oh, yeah. Jago says you have Avengers and Shazam. Lunch Bizzle said he's excited for, what do you call it? The Captain Marvel and, of course, the Avengers. So that's pretty cool. Good selections there. For me, guys, it's going to be the badass superhero without the superpowers. I'm talking about the fucking beast. I'm talking about John Wick 3. Fucking can't wait. You know what? I'm not even the biggest Keanu Reeves guy in the world, but man, did he ever kill it as that character. I love those two movies. Can't freaking wait. Yeah, G-Man is up in the chat. What's going on, G-Man?
I could talk about The Witcher for a second. I am very excited for The Witcher to come out. I wasn't as excited until I started reading up more on it. They are keeping it mature, which is something that I was worried about. It is more it is more based off the books than the game, so my expectations aren't really as high because I am expecting more from the book. They did previously have a TV show. It was a Polish TV show called The Hexer. It was based off of the Witcher books. It was freaking god awful. If you guys want, you can look it up on YouTube. They have the entire series there. It was one of the most awkward shots of anything. There's at one point a tit was shown, and then it zoomed into Geralt's eyes, and then it zoomed back to the tit, and then it zoomed back into Geralt's eyes. It was probably one of the most hilarious thing if you want a really funny B movie or a TV series.
Did you say it was zoomed into the tit? I heard you right?
Yeah. It was tit eyes, tit eyes, tit eyes. It came out in like the early 90s, I believe. That's what it looked like. But yes, the new Witcher series, I am excited for. I am going to give it a chance. Netflix has been really, really good with their TV shows. So I am having my fingers crossed for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty good. And they got Henry Cavill. I know the ladies love Henry Cavill. I think he's awesome. I think he was the best Superman we've seen in years. But I'm definitely excited to see where they take that show for sure. I definitely with you there. I mean, the summer is going to be another good one, I'm sure, for blockbuster movies. I think Merle Films earlier, you said, was it the Avatar 2? I can't wait for Avatar 2. I love the first Avatar, to be honest with you. Some people hated the movie. I thought it was great. Halle Berry, she's in the new John Wick movie, and well, Halle Berry is fucking hot as fuck, so she's nice. So there you go, a little eye candy next to old John Wick. I think John Wick gets more fucking headshots than a porno director, doesn't he? Like, almost to God, everything's in the head. Oh man. But yeah, no, it's going to be another good year for movies, and lots of superhero movies still coming down the pipe. Shazam is actually looking pretty cool, and hopefully it rides the coattails of success, much like Aquaman did. I haven't even seen Aquaman yet. Like, what the hell? But I got to see it.
It was okay. So of course Jason Momoa, he's like so I really enjoyed it because of that. The battle sequences were pretty cool, but towards the end, I actually completely lost interest in it.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was, but as far as DC movies go, yeah, it's up there, and definitely like at least up there with Wonder Woman, at least.
Actually, so Wonder Woman was a great film.
It was good, yeah.
Gal Gadot might have been one of the best, like in my personal opinion, I think she's one of the best like casting people that they've had for any movie, because she just looked the character, you know what I mean? Right. I got a great idea for Batman. I don't know if anybody in the chat will agree with me, but if they're gonna hire a new Batman, here's a guy I think would I think he'd be a really cool Batman. He's kind of young, maybe, but I don't know. And I'm talking about the guy who plays Dean from what do you call it? The supernatural shows. He's got that good square jaw. He's got that look. You know what I mean? I think he could pull off a Batman really cool. I mean, fuck, if you can have George Clooney as Batman, you can damn well have him.
You brought it there.
Yes, George Clooney was so bad as Batman. It's embarrassing to even think about that movie. Honest to God,
I have flashbacks at everything.
G-Man brings up Colt Eastwood's son. Colt Eastwood, Clint Eastwood. What the fuck? Yes, he's actually good too. He would be pretty good. Yeah, indeed. I don't want to see an old fart Batman. I want to fucking see like a young kick-ass fucking dude. You know, somebody who can carry the role for a couple of years. You know, that sort of thing. So that'd be pretty fucking cool. Jensen Eccles, thank you, Jago.
Yes.
Jago, always a wealth of knowledge in the chat. There's a reason that man shows up here. Jensen Eccles, I think he'd be a cool Batman. Perhaps some of you guys do, perhaps you don't, but I think he would be. But yeah, as long as it's not fucking Jake Gyllenhaal, keep him away from the fucking superhero movies, please. I don't mind Jake, trust me. I don't. I think he's a pretty cool actor, but there's just something about the guy. I don't like him in superhero movies. He's a villain in a new Spider-Man, though. He plays Mysterio, doesn't he?
Yep.
Danny McBride is Batman. Oh my God! Well, that would be good for a fucking laugh. He should do a Batman just as a funny ass fucking movie. That would be fucking funny. Just dress up as like fat Batman and go around and be like saying shit, like, you know, that would be funny. Oh man, I pay to see that shit. Or the guy who plays Bubbles on the Trailer Park Boys. Put the glasses on over the fucking suit.
Oh man!
Hey everybody, I'm just about ready to kick some ass. Terry Crews is Batman and beat the shit out of everybody. Idris Elba would be cool as a James Bond. Yeah, he's a cool actor.
Yes, I agree with that. I would love to see that. I love watching Luther. So to have him be James Bond would be perfect. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love the trailer, Pup Boys. C-Script, what's happening, man? Thanks for checking out the stream. We're getting ready to yeah, that's another impression that I do sometimes there, guys. Hey, I'm a man of many fucking voices, apparently. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm surprised nobody's asked for Arnold yet, right? Yeah, no, you know what? I know James Bond is traditionally white, but I'd be totally cool with Idris Elba playing James Bond because, well, first of all, I think the guy is actually from England somewhere, isn't he? Like when he talks normally, he's got a great accent, and the guy just feels like he's got like tangibility, like he's got that bit of a like charm, but the badass to him as well.
Charm and class, and he
yes, he's got that. You know, I love them. That's the one thing I missed about that second movie that. With the fucking big walking things. What the hell is a Pacific Rim? Because he was in the first one, right? But then in the second one, he wasn't. It's like his son or whatever. I thought the second one was okay, but it wasn't near as good as the first one. Jesse Ventura. Yeah, I can't do Jesse very well. But I love this line from Predator, man. He got time to bleed. Jesse Ventura, the guy is a legend. He come out to me and he's in the movie. He's so tough. He took a bullets in his arm and he didn't even cry. He's sitting there. He was ready to kick ass on the Predator. It was awesome. There you go, guys. There's a little Arnie for you. Pacific. Yeah, I love the first Pacific Rim. That movie was dope. Alrighty, well, let me just check in. I'm going to see if we got any more topics before we roll things up. Well, just we started the show. We talked about Kingdom Hearts. I won't get into the game too much more, but the fact that it's like #1 in the Xbox store, Primal, and it seems to be doing really well. Like, how do you feel this moves the needle forward? Do you think we're going to see perhaps we've got the back catalog now? Perhaps some devs will actually take, or the publishers, I guess, will start taking Xbox a little bit more seriously, knowing that they can actually sell their games pretty well on this, lesser platform that has a less established base.
Oh yeah, it's a huge, massive statement for any RPGs, JRPGs, any Japanese teams or anything like that want to branch out besides being on a Nintendo or Sony or anything like that. It's definitely a huge statement. Unfortunately, I do think it is a little too late for 1 and 2 to be coming onto the Xbox. I just if they would have done it, they should have done it before the release. They would have definitely made a lot more money that way. I am still absolutely baffled by the fact that they didn't do that. It really drives me nuts that I see a lot of people saying that if you play Kingdom Hearts on the Xbox, you must not have ever played the first two. What the hell? Like, you realize that this game is over a decade old. It came out originally on the PlayStation. It had other games go on Nintendo devices as well. What makes you think because I'm playing it on the Xbox, I've never played the other ones? That just drives me nuts.
Absolutely.
There is a massive fan base on the Xbox that plays RPGs like this, that love JRPGs. And it would be great to have everything on one console. I have a PS4 strictly because there aren't JRPGs on the one, at least not as much, or the ones that I would like to play. But that's really the only reason why I would even touch my PS4. It is
G-Man in the chat also brings up like Monster Hunter was successful too on the Xbox. Did pretty well, so that's pretty awesome, right? I think there's definitely a home for these games, and for whatever reason, and I guess I do understand part of it is just because they know that the audience is a little more limited in North America overall. Not only is the install base less, but like it doesn't matter what you put on the Xbox in the land of the rising sun. Like nobody fucking buys Xbox. So right off the bat,
nobody has an Xbox over there.
They're already down like 500,000 or 1 million copies because nobody buys Xbox and that. So unless they're successful here, you know what I mean? But like, it shouldn't really matter. You're still missing out on a chance to make money. And then a lot of times I'm just wondering, like, Like, how hard is it to port the game seriously for another console that are basically, for the most part, nearly identical in spec and blah blah blah? So like it's not like trying to convert, like back in the day, trying to bring a 16-bit game back to an 8-bit game, like when they tried to make Sonic the Hedgehog for the fucking Game Gear. It's not that kind of scenario. You know what I mean? So yeah, like we should see more. We have seen more. I've noticed there's a lot more effort from Namco Bandai as well. So I think they're starting to get the message. And Phil's been over this spreading the goodwill too, right? Sorry?
There used to be so many more on the 360. I'm like completely baffled as to why they didn't bring them back over to the one. Like they had the Magna Carta series. There was Last Remnant. I remember when Square broke up with Sony for a little while and were putting out their games on 360, and they still did well. And now that they're back with Sony, the whole relationship's funky. But at least thank you, Square, for letting us have Final Fantasy on the Xbox. It's such a big deal. When that announcement was made, I keeled over because I thought it would never happen. Star Ocean, thank you, Monkey. There Lost Odyssey was a fantastic JRPG and a major classic that did very well, and it still did even well after they made it backwards compatible on the one. So I don't understand why they're not opening their eyes and seeing that this is a massive market for the Xbox One players. It drives me nuts.
Well, again, it's up to us as players to get out there. If you are interested, to get out there and try more of these games and play them and show again that love. Nothing speaks more to a publisher more than anything. It's great developers, right? But I mean the publisher, because at the end of the day, it's up to the publisher what comes out. It's not the developer that says, "Hey," every developer will want their games to be everywhere, but the publisher is the one that says, "Well, we got to invest in it. We got to money be found in advertising, et cetera, et cetera. We got to market this game, blah blah blah." So nothing speaks more to a publisher than by putting your money where your mouth is, and that is going out there and buying these games. And I think we're starting to see a little bit more of that. Maybe we didn't so much at the start of the generation, but I think things are picking up now. And and again, Phil's gone over and did the work. He's said, we're here to help. We're here to make things easy for the transition. That sort of stuff. He's been talking to these guys. He's got a lot of tight connections and stuff like that. So great on them. There's been a lot of really cool games. So yeah, so perfect on that. Let's just move along, and this will be our last topic of the night. And I just want to talk about Crackdown a little bit. And I guess the love or overhype or the hate. It seems to be kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum. So the first question I'm going to ask, and this is going to go to the chat, guys, is I want you to press 1 if you're buying Crackdown in Game Pass. I want you to press 2 if you're buying Crackdown physically, and 3 if you're not buying Crackdown or could care less at all. So 1 on Game Pass, 2 if you're physical, and 3 if you're just not buying it all. I want to see where the chat is going with this. And basically what I want to do is just like, do you think this game has overhyped, that it almost killed itself out of the gate? Timothy Dixon says 3, BZ McNasty's a 1, Shizno is a 2, Lunch is a 1, Jago's a 1, Silent Wyvern is 3, Abacab is here. What's going on, bro? He's a 1, Jago's 1, C-Script is 1, Monkey Punch is 2. Well, right now it's obviously unanimous that most of the chat is getting this game, whether through Game Pass or on disc. They are getting this game, so that's promising. The numbers are looking good, and this is only a small chat, but numbers are good. How about you, Primal? What's your take so far? Are you interested? Do you think it's overhyped? Do you think there's a lot of negative, crazy hate? What's going on?
The whole shit is crazy. I see so many different things about it. From my personal opinion, Lunch Bizzle is actually the one that got me into it. I played some Crackdown 2 and I was interested in it. I've been following it ever since, and it is a game that I would like to play. I am thankful that it is on Game Pass, just in case. I am not a diehard Crackdown fan because I haven't played enough of it. Maybe if I played the first 2 more, I would be feeling what everybody else is feeling. I will not shit on the game because I don't know that much about the game. That's why I'm thankful for Game Pass, so that it's something I could try. I think the game is still going to do well. People who love Crackdown are still going to buy Crackdown. People who are unsure of it, they can use Game Pass for it. All these people that are shitting on this game, I don't understand. I've heard stuff about the gameplay mechanics, the graphics. I've heard all these different things. The game hasn't even been out yet. We haven't even seen a completely fully finished product. And
well, first of all,
never even touched Crackdown before.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I'm not a huge Crackdown fan. I played the first game. I dabble with the second, and I like the games. They're fun, and they're definitely a lot of fun with a co-op partner. Kind of think Grand Theft Auto more or less without sort of the story or the wacky characters, but think more like Grand Theft Auto if you put in sort of like a superhero sort of character with crazy ass weapons and stuff. You kind of get the idea. Now, people talk about the graphics. So first of all, go back and look at the original videos of the graphics and look at the game now. It has improved immensely. Okay. Second of all, they've also added Terry Crews. That alone almost has me sold because Terry Crews is amazing, and I think he's going to be fucking awesome as Captain Jax or whatever in this game. The weapons look amazing. The explosions and stuff are really cool. Look, most people are getting that Game Pass anyway, so it's not even a big gamble. If you're already paying for Game Pass, you get it for free, basically. You know what I mean? Like, it's paid for itself, so not even a big deal. If you don't like it, whoop-de freaking doo-dah. Go just play it, at least give it a try. If you're just not, like, I understand it's not everybody's bag, okay? Like I said, I get why some people don't care for it. Some people just don't care for that genre, period, right? But I don't understand why it gets so much hate. I understand it's a little disappointing compared to the hype, and I think even Phil and some of the guys have more or less said that maybe at the start it was easy to anticipate or escalate how they wanted the game to be and how they wanted it to play, but the technology, there's a lot of learning curve in the technology, cloud or not, right? And apparently, I think that's been a lot of the hang-up is just making sure it works and works well with the cloud. It's pointless to bring it out either if the game runs like ass, right? That's the bottom line. It's going to do more damage than it's going to do good. So that's hence the delays, is the making sure that it at least runs solid, regardless of whether it lives up to its ambitious nature, which I don't think it is, but it is going to be what it is. I said this months ago. I said Crackdown's not going to be a game of the year contender, but it might be your personal game of the year. But I don't think it's going to be up there in the conversations when this year is done. Like, oh, Crackdown was like, it blew me away. But it is a lot of fun. I played it with Cyber Gunter. We had a blast. Like I said, good co-op, good romp. And the graphics, they're stylized graphics. They're not bad. Trust me, go back and play the 360 stuff and you'll see a huge difference.
Major difference.
Major difference. But I don't understand every time Microsoft does a different game that's always about the graphics and the stylization. When does stylization in games ever become an issue? Like, I don't see people complaining about it when they're talking about Fortnite. Like, Fortnite's a cartoony-ass game, but I don't see every conversation going, well, I can't play Fortnite because it fucking looks like a cartoon. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. Like, give it a couple years, guys. Like, C-Script is saying, good point about the game industry changing and learning new tech. Absolutely. Give it a couple more years. Say if Crackdown 4 ever comes out, probably by that time they will have really had time to sink into the cloud server based data like Sumo Digital is not even like a premier developer when you think about it. They're okay probably, but they're not one of those developers that's up there with the Naughty Dogs of the world, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? So God only knows how many changes they've had to go through before they got this game out the door. I think at some point they just had to go, you know what, guys, the game is going to be what it is. We got to get it out. The fans expect it. We can't delay it any longer. So you got to come to a cutoff point. This game has got to be at least good or good enough, and let's get it out the door. It's not going to be this or that, but who knows? It could be like Sea of Thieves. Hell, Sea of Thieves right now is a way better game than it was fucking back, what was it, last year when it first came out. And I think anybody who's played Sea of Thieves can tell you it's way better now than it was. It's still not amazing, but it's way better. So maybe that'll be the same scenario with Crackdown, right?
Yeah, because if they even if they had all the time that they wanted to have by the time they finish this game, the graphics are going to be a million times better. So having it come out now how it is, I'm satisfied by the clips that I've seen. I don't think it's anything horrible. There's definitely worse graphics, like games with bad graphics that do well now. Plus, it's also to your own taste too. If you're like, oh, that looks horrible, so don't look at it. Don't play it. Keep your mouth shut. Go play something else. Yeah, I don't understand why everybody has to shit on something that they don't like.
Games are sometimes like sexual partners. The best sex does not always come from the best looking partner. I can guarantee you that. You know what I mean? So it's very much the same. Trust me on that.
I play all the games.
Whatever is available, I'll play it. Game Pass my ass. Let's go.
Keep it coming monthly and get rid of the ones
Well,
I'm with.
there you go. Jago brings up another point. Like, is there multiplayer destruction on PlayStation? Is there hardly any games on PlayStation you can play co-op through a story? Fucking no. This is what I'm saying. So go give them some grief because what? PlayStation got all the great bangers, all the great single player games, and I'm not denying that. But you know, at the end of the day, they're all single player. And they're all these just great looking games that almost look identical to each other. Like if you look at Days Gone, right? Days Gone almost pretty much looks like fucking The Last of Us. Do you know what I mean? Like every game that comes out pretty much for PlayStation almost seems like it copies the same mold. They just change the fucking directive, and then it's like, hey, here you go. Yes, they're great games. That's not. I'm not denying or debating it. I'm just saying they do their thing, but Microsoft does diversity and then gets shits on for fucking diversity. You know, I don't get it. But anyway, all I'm going to tell you guys. Gears 5 comes out this year. Fucking, you can mark that shit down. That's going to be a Game of the Year contender. Oh, yeah. Mark my words.
Goodbye, friends.
Yes, goodbye, friends. Goodbye, world. Primal. We are doing it. All right. But anyway, we're going to leave it at that. I don't know. Like, to me, honestly, it's a bit of both. There is a bit of overhype for Crackdown. I think there's also a lot of negative stuff. And I think a lot of the negativity comes from people who probably, one, never ever liked the original franchise to begin with, or two, it's coming from a lot of the people who just can't play Crackdown because they don't own the console that would play it, or the PC, or whatever be the case, and they're just too negative to even go out and try it. So we saw that with Sea of Thieves. People were hating on it long before they ever sailed the ocean. And I get it. Some people play Sea of Thieves now and still say it's not their bag. Personally, I like Sea of Thieves, but honestly, I can also tell you I can play Sea of Thieves, and within an hour, I'm usually bored shitless and I'm ready to turn it off. I still do have a bit of fun. I just can't play it for like some people play Sea of Thieves for fucking hours, and they do the same thing over for hours. They go to an island, they kill a couple of skeletons, they get some chests, they fight a fucking thing, they get eaten by a shark. It's the same fucking shit. You know what I mean? There's no story. There's no real like big objective that draws me in for Sea of Thieves. I think Sea of Thieves, if fucking Rare ever puts an actual story where one person can play the game by them fucking selves, man, I think they're going to kill it. But until then, yeah. But anyway, I don't want to get on a Sea of Thieves rant. I'm just saying, I think it's a little bit of both. It just depends on which side of the fence your dick happens to be, or your vagina happens to be laying on for this particular topic. Good for you, Jago. I don't hate Anthem at all. I just decided I don't think that game is for me. But
first half.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry?
He wasn't here for the first half of our Anthem conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. He didn't catch it. He's probably going to be shocked now that I'm not picking it up. But it is what it is. I'm just not really keen on the looter shooter, and it's not Mass Effect with flying mech type dudes, not at all. So it's kind of not my bag. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, people, I think that's going to do it for the Gaming After Dark. Just before we do go, I want to thank each and every one of you who showed up tonight. It's been fucking fantastic. 23 watching now. I think we nearly had 30, which is not a bad way to go for our first ever podcast. A lot of new faces in the chat. Thank you so much for being here, subscribing, liking, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So appreciate that. Hopefully you'll return next week. We do plan on doing this weekly, same time, same place. Hopefully you'll come back. And we're going to have guests on from time to time as well. If you want to be a guest with me and Primal, all you have to do is send me a DM on Twitter or wherever. And, if you want to come on and talk some gamings and shit, great stuff. Timothy Dixon, thanks for hanging out. Wow, I thought you were gone there for a while, but I guess he's been hanging around. And good stuff. Keep it gaming, guys. Just like what you like, love what you like. That's it. Just have fun. At the end of the day, gaming is about fun. It doesn't matter what game it is or how you play it or where you play it, as long as you're having fun with gaming. At the end of the day, it really is. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? One man's trash is another man's treasure, but it's all good stuff, man. Appreciate you guys coming out. If you have any questions you'd like to to shout at us right now, that would be a great time to send them to us before we exit out.
Ask us anything.
We have no filter here.
Game.
Great first episode in chat. Oh yeah, minus that. Yeah, the one douchat that came in here and tried to. At first, I thought he was playing, but then whatever, became a douchat. You're gonna get a few douchats from time to time. Was that Primal?
I've dealt with so much worse shit. I've been gaming online for years, so I've definitely heard and learned.
Hey, I will take a girl gamer any day of the week than some squeaky ass little kid that's just entering puberty that wants to come on and say all sorts of shit ass words and call people this, that, and something else and acts all king shit. And you're like, man, your fucking father should slap you upside the head right now. Honest to Jesus. As Jago put that dude in timeout. He learned his lesson real quick. Jago laying down the law almost like Lethal Papa. And UK Desert. That's almost shocking. UK Desert hasn't shown up here. God dang, shit kind of got real up in here. I think Dazzy going to watch the replay. I think, but yeah, it's really late for that guy. But I'm sure he'll be here eventually. He can't miss an interaction with Primal. So that's it. That's how you shut the trolls down. You ignore them or block them, and they are done. That's how you get rid of them, people. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. You were fantastic. Primal, any last thoughts, words, how they can find you and what's up with you? And look at that, 440 over in the UK. Timothy's still hanging in there. His eyelids are open with toothpicks right now, but he's still listening. Any holes or goals are silent. I like that. That's a good motto there, Silent. I like that. You sound like you took one out of the old book of Nukenisms.
Yeah, I definitely want to thank the chat. I love you guys. I know from the dosage and also from Twitter. So it's really great to see all of you following and supporting us. Thank you, Newf, for starting this new journey with me. I'm excited for our future episodes. If you guys want, if you want to hear more of me, I will be on some other podcasts as guest, and you can find that out on my Twitter at Primal. I am also on Xbox, which is Primal, and on the PSN, which is Primal. So if you want to find me, Primal, you can Google me. I'm sure there's some pictures, not nude. Just whatever. Everything's Primal, which is crazy. It is so crazy. The first time to try and Google myself or Bing myself now, Primal, I am also a vaginal cream. There is a vaginal cream.
Wow.
It's like the funniest thing, but right next to it is a picture of me. So I feel like I made it somehow.
Primal, did you happen to see what Silent Wyvern typed in the chat? It's too funny. Says, you know what they say about women over 80? Snow in the field, you plow it from both ends. That's fucking fantastic. Love it. You guys are awesome. See, this is why I love this chat too, because people that come out here, they got a sense of fucking humor. They don't take life too fucking seriously, because God only knows it's too short. You got to have a little bit of fun with it, and that's great, right? Because so many people, like in these podcast games too, they're like all serious, all business all the time, like. They don't want to say anything that's remotely, we might piss off an executive who's listening. You know what? Screw you, executives. You know what? If you haven't showed up for my podcast already, I don't give a fuck if you ever show up. That's all I'm going to say. I'd love to have these guys come on here, but, I've been trying to get a bigwig from Microsoft on for fucking months now. He keeps telling me he's going to come on, and then he says, you got to talk to my PR guy. So I keep fucking sending the questions and shit to the PR fucking guy, and he doesn't respond to me. Then I got to go back to that big executive and say, well, I haven't heard from your PR guy, so is it cool to come on the show? And guess what? He still hasn't been on the show. So, at this point, I guess that's just the old fucking run around the Newf. So whatever. It is what it is. But, yeah, there you go. Hey, Cray Simmons, what's up, bro? Yeah, Cray Simmons, good dude, man. Good fellow to hang out with and play some gears with. We got to get you back on there, too. But it's a great podcast, guys. Yes, we will be back again next week. Share the love, share out the links, all that good stuff. And I got one question for you, Primal, and I don't know if you're game for this. I'd be game for it if you are. But would you, and let's find out from the chat, would you be willing to do a podcast with the cameras on?
If it works. My internet, no, you don't understand. I've been trying to video chat with a few people. I had issues trying to chat with J-Dubs for my profile picture. I am running on kilobytes. So the second I try and run anything, either it shuts down or my laptop overheats. I'm willing to try.
My weight scale is in kilos and they bite.
Trust me, if I could, I do want to stream. I've had multiple people wanting me to stream some of my gaming, and it's definitely something I want to do.
So let's just ask the chat. Would you like to ever see Primal and me do one with the camera on? Or do you think in my case at least, do you think I should just keep my fucking ugly mug in the background behind my my avatar, all that stuff? Yeah, Primal. I knew that Primal on camera would be great, especially if she's she's wearing one of those halter tops or whatever. Yeah, I'll agree. Ah, man, it'd be fun. It'd be interesting. I haven't really done a podcast with the camera on yet, but I don't know if anybody wants to see my ugly mug. But anyway, I think some people are saying yes. We might try it at some point in time. Maybe it'll be a special episode, and maybe it'll be like 30 seconds long, which kind of sounds like my sex life. But yeah, it'll be fine. Primal?
Yes. Sorry. I got
perfect. Anyway, Shizno may find it difficult to listen to. Yes, it depends on whose mug he's leaving at, right? Oh, I can leave the bear in the shot. Oh, yeah, that was fucking funny that time. Yeah, I'm fucking doing a podcast, forgot that my camera was on, and everybody's like, there's a giant bear in the back. And I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? And yeah, because my wife has this 6 foot fucking tall giant bear we bought at like at the store for a couple Christmases ago, and he's sitting there in the background, and I'm like, my God, thank God I didn't have my pants off or something. You know what I mean? Might have seen a bear, all right. Might have been my bare ass.
A little bit of furry action going on.
Go. Oh man, a little bit of fur. All right, but anyway, guys, we had a great time. I'm pretty sure, Primal, you had a good time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm already looking forward to next week. This time already flew by. I could probably talk to you all night.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, this is great.
And the chat was awesome. You guys are fantastic. So thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully I mentioned everybody tonight in the chat. If I didn't, I do apologize. Make sure that you leave an at me if we didn't give you a bit of a shout out. As I said, if you spend 1 minute with us, the least I can do is acknowledge you being here. It is greatly appreciated. And we'll definitely see you guys next week. I'll see some of you guys on Xbox Live or PlayStation Network. Speaking of PlayStation, or any of my friends here in this chat right now, if you guys have a PSVR and you have Firewall, I'd love to play that game with you because that game is pretty dope and co-op is really cool. It's even better if you got the PSVR aim controller because with the regular controller itself it's a bit awkward, but with the aim controller it feels kind of natural, so it's good stuff. Thanks for the love, Michael Monkey Punch, Lugo, Lunch Bizzle, Jago, all the rest of you guys are fantastic. We will see you guys soon. And as I mentioned, and I'll just remind everybody that next Monday is a return to the Game Dosage podcast. Myself, Jago, Proto Foxy, and Attack the Glitcher are going to be rolling the show back out again next week. We're excited about it. Again, we send our thanks and best wishes to the Stinking Corpse, to Primal, and to Invader, who were awesome with us, but unfortunately, due to commitments, they cannot be with us on the Monday nights. They've made guests from time to time, but I'm excited to bring the Game Dosage back. It's all in Glitcher's hands at this point in time, so let's hope the bastard is back, and he's back for a good long time, and we'll go with it for that. So, oh yeah, Firewall and a Netgear. Yeah, that's like on the PC or whatever. Cool. Anyway, you guys, yeah, we'll see you all next week. Peace out. Have a great night.
Have a good night.